Shazam! Fury of the Gods is the sequel to Shazam, but how is it compared to the original? The film continues the story of teenage Billy Batson, who, upon reciting the magic word Shazam, is transformed into his adult superhero alter ego, Shazam. I enjoyed the first Shazam. I thought it was really surprising. And I know that film has mixed feelings upon DCU fans or DCEU fans because it has like a Marvel feel to it. But I don't know. I thought it was a nice change of pace that we normally get in the DCEU. But if you're a diehard fan of that darker and more depressing tone, I can see why you'd be like, what the hell was that? So for a sequel, it wasn't like I was super excited for it, but I wasn't like, oh my god, I gotta go see Shazam again. I was actually kind of looking forward to it. But there was a lot of outside noise when this film was being made. I think there was a lot of reshoots, there were budget cuts, they kept pushing back the release date, I think like 3 or 4 times. Now James Gunn's in charge of the DCEU, which means all of this storytelling might be useless because we might be resetting the whole goddamn thing. So honestly, all those factors made me go in this movie being like, I don't know, like I don't have really any expectations for it anymore. And Shazam! Fury of the Gods was okay. I don't think it's nearly as good as the first one, but there are parts of it that I had fun with. I think it has the same sort of charm and energy as the first one, but I don't think it hits the same level of charm and energy as the first one. First one's just so much fun. You have a kid that gets superhero powers and he doesn't know what to really do and he's acting like a kid even though he's a superhero. It's really funny. They did a lot of cool stuff with that. And in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, there are sequences like that are a lot of fun. There's actually parts of the film that I actually got pretty excited. I was like, this is really exciting, and I am somewhat surprised. But that's because of the performances. They are all really great here. I think Zachary Levi nails this role as Shazam, Billy Batson, or like an older version of Billy Batson. He's just so funny and charismatic as Shazam. He carries most of this movie, and it's the funny little gizmos. Like, they're kids as superheroes, and they react to certain things as adults, but they're kids, and that's a lot of fun. And you saw that a lot in the first one, and there's a lot of it here. All I'm trying to say is it still works. It's still a lot of fun there. And I think they do some clever things with pairing certain characters together. There are 2 characters that are trapped together. I won't say much because of spoilers. And I thought their back and forth was actually really funny and one of the more interesting and hilarious parts of the movie. But I'll be honest, that's pretty much all I enjoyed about Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This film has a lot of issues, and I don't know if it was because of the production stuff where things were getting pushed back, things were being refilmed, the budget cuts, new people in charge. I don't know if that's the reason, but this film just feels really sloppy. From the editing and the special effects, and I don't really want to talk about the special effects too much because, as I just said, their budget was cut to $100 million, which, yes, that's an assload of money. But when you're making a giant superhero movie, that's really not that much. I feel like there's parts of the story that feel focused, that are a lot of fun and exciting, but overall the story is kind of a mess, where we have villains that you don't really care about too much. They're all over the place, to where I would say probably the last third of the movie just feels really cluttered and all over the place, just a mess. Where I feel like the first 2/3 of the movie were actually really fun, and I was invested in what was going on. But then the film doesn't know where to put certain characters, how to wrap up certain plot elements. Like, there's a plot element that's just so like a one-line thing in the first 15 minutes of the movie. And at the end of the movie, it becomes a thing. And it's supposed to be like emotionally uplifting, but I honestly kind of forgot they even had that conversation. It's just this quick little thing. And I feel like it's because some of these characters are barely in the movie, and then they're in the movie towards the end. And like I said, it feels like the movie didn't really know where to put these characters throughout the whole entire film. And it's not like just that plot point. It feels like a lot of story elements were either rushed. It didn't really have that much of a fulfilling conclusion. And I will say, if you are a die-hard DC fan, to the point where you don't even like Marvel that much, to the point where so far Zack Snyder and what they've done so far doesn't really bother you, I really think you're going to hate a few of the things that they've done in this film. There are some jokes, there are some lines that I think are really going to irritate those die-hard DC fans. And I won't say what they were. I won't say like that. I'm just saying I'm not really a huge DCEU fan. There's some projects I really like. There's some I really hate. But I can just tell, being on Twitter, there are those die-hard fans of this universe that I think they're going to get pissed off. Oh, I need to say, I think the writers of this film watched the Simpsons movie one too many times, and you'll know what I'm talking about once you see the film. And they're just random jokes and random things that happen that just doesn't really work for me, random reveals. And there's one that kind of made me roll my eyes, but my theater seemed to love it. They started clapping. And I don't know, I wasn't bored in the film. I never had a bad time. I thought it was overall pretty fun. It just feels like a big mess. And like I said before, I don't know if it's because of all the outside noise, but compared to the first one, I think the first one felt more tight, a lot more fun, a lot more energy and charm, while this sequel has energy and charm, but nowhere near as much charm or energy or even heart as the original. I'm going to give Shazam! Fury of the Gods 6 Davey Daves. I'm happy I got this review out tonight because it is March Madness. I am so excited for March Madness. I wish I was making a video about that. I honestly don't know too much about that. It's just exciting. It's the best time of the year, the first day of March Madness. It's March, it's spring, it's going to start getting warmer out if you live in the Midwest. Oh, I just love this time of year. I know it's completely unrelated to Shazam, but I just want to talk about that. I'm so excited for March Madness. But Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Let me know what you guys thought of it once you've seen it. I'm curious to hear. And thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Dave's Takes.